wipe down the room. Let me just run out, get some stuff. I bring my groceries back and I go to wipe down the refrigerator and there's hair in the refrigerator. Like long strands of and look, this ain't none of this hair, okay? Long strands of wrapped hair. And it's also in the ice compartment. And I called and I was just like, so they already said, well, we'll give you 2,000 points. We'll take $75 every night off your room. I said, no, we just gonna have to go to a little room. Because what I can't do
is stay in the murder room. Because the only reason why there is hair in the refrigerator is somebody was storing
body parts.
Storing body parts.
That's what I said. Why do I travel? Erica, why do you travel? Because you travel way more than me.
Oh, I have to. It's kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to be a flight attendant from your living room. Although during COVID, someone did, and it was hilarious.
Wait, what?
This flight attendant did a YouTube video about how a flight attendant copes with being on lockdown, on quarantine. And it was absolutely hilarious. Her husband was sitting at the desk and he wanted to move to the couch. And she goes, that will be an upgrade.
Stop it.
And then she flipped to sitting by the bathroom, eating, because that's where our jump seats are. And that's actually where we end up having to eat. And so she put a chair outside of her bathroom door.
And she sat there.
And she's sitting there eating. And her husband's like, she's like, I'm sorry, sir, but you're going to have to use a lavatory in the cabin in which you were seated. But I just need to go to I'm sorry, sir. You're going to have to. It was so funny. And
are they still married? I just feel like
it was the funniest video. It was the funniest video, and it was only funny because it was true.
Can we rewind back to you having to sit at the bathroom door eating your lunch?
The next time you get on an airplane, look at where the flight attendant jump seats are, and then look at where the lavatories are.
I don't think so. I recognized that you all sat there when the plane was taking off and when it was landing. I never thought about the fact that you all had to eat or where you were going to eat.
That's where we sit. Oh, that's why a lot of us, even when I find myself doing this when I'm at home, I stand up eating. I eat standing up at the counter because that's what I do at work. I stand up in the galley and I eat.
Because nobody wants to eat next to the bathroom.
Yeah, but that's where, because we're, at least at my airline, we're not permitted to sit in the passenger seats when there's passengers on the plane. And so the only other seat available are our flight attendant jump seats, which are by the lavatories, which is our only option.
I'm feeling a little some way about when I complain about not getting upgraded.
Yeah, no, like that's it. Like it's over. Like what? Like you're not. Like I dare you to complain about where you're sitting the next time you're on a plane. Like wow.
Oh.
Because here's the thing about flying. Because I don't mind flying. I think Gina, she flies more than me, but she has a weirder issue with flying than I do, which is weird.
Hate it.
Like I'm like, I get on the plane. Kiss up to Jesus. If we make it, we make it. If not, it is what it is.
And I'm out. I'm asleep. I'm gone.
Listen,
my mother hates traveling with me.
Before that joint leaves the runway, if it's just I'm up in my corner, up on my window seat.
Oh, at least you make it to the runway. I don't even make it to the door being closed.
Are you serious?
Yes. I am out.
No. I wait at least until I hear that whole ding. Now we have reached 10,000 feet or wherever it is.
Oh, I'm already
Because most accidents, tell me, Erica, tell me if I'm lying. Most accidents happen before that first ding. And when you start, am I lying?
You're not, most accidents happen on takeoff and landing. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. But what are you gonna do though, is what I'm asking. Like my question is like, you act like this is something you can prevent. Like, oh, let me stay awake just in case. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do? Nothing. You can't do nothing.
I don't want to see it coming.
Erica, what do I do?
You should have been paying attention to the safety demo.
I mean,
because who doesn't?
But you know what? Hey, I had this one lady one time where I'm sitting there doing my thing and nobody is paying it. All I saw were the tops of people's heads. Nobody was paying attention. And this lady looked up at me and she said, "Does it bother you that nobody is paying attention?" And I said, "Absolutely not, because I know how to get off." And all these heads started popping up.
Wait, don't y'all get breaks though? See, let me tell you something. That drives me nuts when we're delayed and they're like, well, we might have to cancel your flight because y'all have to time out. What's that timeout deal?
Well, it's more strenuous for the pilots than it is for the flight attendants, but the FAA regulates the amount of time that a crew member can be on duty. And then there's more. Too. Yeah, and so the pilots can be on duty, and then your contract but you can't go below FAA regulations. So like our pilots can only be on duty for 12 and a half hours. And then they, what's called timed out, they time out. So,
like you know who else needs those?
Who?
Physicians. I said it.
True statement.
I said it.
So there are some regulations per se. There's some regulations.
Okay, when you said per se, that means there's not.
There are no regulations.
There are some regulations definitely in training for sure. But outside of that, let me tell you, one thing that you should never ask your physician is, did you get enough sleep? Don't ask that question. You can just ask them if they're alert, how they got alert. It doesn't matter. As long as they can make good decisions.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
But I don't ask the pilots.
You know what would be awesome? So, Erica, have you ever been on a plane where somebody was just like, I know you've been on planes where they're asking for physicians, because Gina has actually been on flights where she's had to work.
Too many.
Yes. Have you ever been on a flight where they were just like, hey, can anybody fly a plane? Or is that only heaven?
As far as I know, that only happens in the movies. It has. I have heard of stories where flights are about to.
You can't tell people like me who are afraid of flying stuff like. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and shut my computer down. I don't want to hear this.
Let me finish.
Oh my gosh!
Where a flight was in jeopardy of canceling for one reason or another.
Oh, okay.
And there's been a qualified pilot trying to just fly for pleasure on the flight,
but not while y'all are in the air and like somebody gets knocked out in the cabin, and then you get dinged in and you walk into the cockpit. You're just like, Miss Erica, see if there's anybody, and somebody's like, I've had 10,000 flight hours on my Sega Genesis, and I'm gonna land.
No, and even if I did, I don't think I'd take the 10,000 hours on the Sega Genesis person, because simulators are good, but yeah, that would be like me going. I played Operation a couple of times. I got this.
Well,
I haven't
anatomy.
No,
the nose didn't light up the last 3 times I played. I think I got this. I got this.
I think I could take that appendix out.
No. automatic. I'm not going to take that.
Sadly, there have been many stories where a play is about to go on, and a particular person has gone into the audience and said, "Hey, I need you to come play this part right quick," and it's happened. I've never done it. I probably never will do it. I will cancel a show first. So apparently, what happened was that the playwright / director / star of the show was preparing to fire an actress. And so he told one of the people that he was going to replace her with, the person he's going to replace her with, to come watch the show. The girl found out that her replacement was sitting in the audience after she had kind of read the script, but not really. Found out her replacement was sitting in the audience. So she quit the show before curtain. Okay. The audience is actually in the theater at this point. So the playwright / director / star of the show goes to the woman in the audience and it's just like, look, I need you to come on and be this part. And she was like, hey, playwright / writer / director.
Okay, can we just make up a name like Joe or Danita
or we'll call this person Dialer Terry. We'll call him that. Okay. So we'll call him that. Okay.
I'm done.
We'll call him that.
Okay.
So Dialer
wow.
goes into the audience and he tells his actor, and the actor's like, I don't know any of the lines. He's like, make it work. And they costume her up, and she's like studying between scenes and ad-libbing and or improvising, which is something that we teach our actors and to do in depending on what training you had. Mm-hmm. And they essentially, and what made it even crazier is like, I don't know if it was a filming night or not, but she did the whole show, and the actors and actresses around her, like every once in a while they would like feed her lines and this, that, and the other. But yeah, it happened. A curtain. The closest I had that happen to me was when I had an actor that had to step away from the show 48 hours before the show, which is just as bad. But I've never. But it's more likely to happen in theater than in like somebody having 10,000 hours of Sega Genesis training.
No, but what Erica just said, that happens actually in the hospital too. Because I remember one time I went to round on a patient and I had on some jeans and there was an emergency C-section that had to happen and their doc wasn't there and I was the only doc there, and I was just like, and literally I went into the patient's room and I was like, so you don't know me.
Oh no!
And this is crazy.
I'm gonna have to do your surgery.
So call me maybe.
Danita, you all have lied to us for years. It's your fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Erica, you can tell me that this fear is not substantiated and can't be substantiated, but
I can already tell you it probably isn't. Because
no, not snakes on a plane. Do you know that I still sit in my seat and I look up where the luggage is stored, waiting for something to slither down? Tell me, Erica, with full confidence that you have never heard of anything coming down from the luggage stuff. Tell me it does not happen.
I've never heard of a snake coming down.
No. I'm just.
What came down? What came down?
A scorpion.
No, okay, that's better. No.
Like a real one?
Ooh, no. No.
Where were y'all coming from?
It was someplace tropical, like Costa Rica or Mexico or something like that. And it either got on the plane out of through somebody's luggage. We suspect it got into someone's luggage, or it might have gotten into the catering carts, which is another point of access.
What part?
The catering carts where the food and the
beverages
food is?
They got bugs?
Well, I mean, it's a working kitchen, but you have to go from the kitchen to the ramp. Bugs are they're resourceful.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it more than likely came out of the luggage.
Yeah.
Question. How do you all discover that there is a scorpion on the plane?
Right. It stung somebody.
So then you had to call whatever doctor that was flying for pleasure and be like, is there a doctor? And then we had to say,
because who?
You do it. I'm not doing it. But I don't do scorpions.
It stung somebody.
The 963.10 times, that's not even a real number.
But it's probably close.
That I have been called. And usually it's only the trips when I was going from LA to any trip from the West Coast to the East Coast. Those long flights and those red eyes. That somebody passed out or they didn't eat or they drank too much and their glucose it always happens. But I promise you, when I'm trying to find out if the person is alive and I get tagged the doc that is going to take care of the person because the other person's like, nope, I'm sitting too far back. You go ahead.
I'm just happy you guys answer.
Why wouldn't they answer? Wait, you have to, right? Gina,
like, y'all are
bound by the thing.
It says do no harm.
No, the thing says that y'all have to because
do no harm.
Shut your mouth.
It doesn't say when you're on the airplane on a red eye, you have to get up and tell people that you're.
Wait, the Hippocratic oath does not bind you all to have to help a person.
I don't think so.
See.
And 9 times out of 10, they pretend like they don't hear us anyway. So
no, I will.
They're plugged in and they act like they don't hear us. They see me running up and down the aisle with oxygen bottles. I have
to say, there was one time I was thick into a movie, and I was on the window seat, and it wasn't until the person beside me I realized in my peripheral vision they kept doing like this.
See? Because I'm running by you with oxygen.
I was like, why is the person beside me looking? So then I turned around and looked, and there's this congregation of people, like just 2 rows behind me. And then I was just like, what's going on? And he was like, oh, they're asking for a doctor or a nurse. And I was just like, and then I got up. But I wasn't ignoring. I was just thinking that movie was good.
Wait a minute. So be your sister, and we talk a lot, because that's happened to you a whole bunch of times.
A lot.
Why don't you carry your own stethoscope on the stupid plane?
You know what? We can go ahead and end this show, because what we not going to have is healthcare provider shading.
No, seriously, Gina. Like, I would say out of like the 19 times that you fly, about 16 of them times.
It wasn't that many, but it was a lot.
It was a lot.
I probably have it.
Blaming no airlines that they don't have stethoscopes and you ain't got one in your carry-on bag.
We have them.
They have them.
You just can't hear.
They're trash.
You just can't hear.
Well, wait. So what do you all do if there's no healthcare provider that's on the plane? What do y'all?
Somebody gonna die that day, I guess.
No.
Well, my airline subscribes to a service that patches us to a doctor, a facility, and it has a 24-hour doctor on board that we can communicate to.
Oh.
And So when you're deep in that movie and you don't hear us until after everything, don't feel totally bad.
Aww.
We weren't completely on our own, but it would be nice.
for her and her nice, pretty uniform and her
would be nice
to be doing CPR on
a person. And doing IV bags and
What?
Oh yeah, we have IVs and saline, and apparently that doesn't really tell people that there's something happening, because this one flight we had to hook the person up with the saline, and we don't have those stands, so I'm standing there holding the IV bag, and someone about 3 rows in front of me, so they can see me holding the IV bag and this situation happening, rings the call bell. So I lean because I can't leave, and I was like, "Yeah, what's happening?" I'm thirsty. Is there some way someone can bring me a Diet Coke? I'm like,
stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
So, and you're holding
Can't make this stuff up. I'm holding it. I'm literally holding it. Yes. Holding the IV bag. Holding the IV bag. We've already had to move people out of the row so the person can lay down.
Just for the taste of it. Diet Coke.
Diet Coke. And it's always a Diet Coke. It's always a Diet Coke.
Wow. Diet Coke. I love that you said it's always a Diet Coke. That has to be like, because you know the audacity you have to see your flight attendant clear a row, hold an IV bag. There's clearly a medical crisis. Like that has got to be the carryingest thing to do.
You would think that would be a clue that your Diet Coke is not high on my priority list right now.
Yeah, but now I want to put that in a show. Like that's fantastic. I feel like your real stories are better than anything. Like Gina's blaming us for stuff because yes, we do have movies that a person has been doing 10,000 hours of flight simulation and can be told over the radio how to guide a plane, which has always kind of confused me because whenever they open those doors when they're like letting everybody exit and you like look in the cockpit, I don't even know how they know how to turn the joint on. Like there's so many like levers and pulley systems and like you ought to accidentally dump the luggage at one point. Like I don't see how they do that. So I get it. The entertainment industry, we have several movies where the person had to land the plane, or my favorite is when they use don't you guys have like an elevator or something that goes from like and they go down into like the belly of the plane to find the bomb.
That was a particular. What's that?
Because they're looking for the snakes?
No, the scorpions. They're looking for the scorpions.
For the scorpions.
No, that's a particular airplane. That was a L-1011, and I don't think that they're being flown in the United States anymore because that's a kind of you might find those in Europe or Africa. But yeah,
So you know the model of the planes? Oh, okay. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but
I mean,
you don't know models of your stethoscopes. Like you can't pull the stethoscope out the bag and be like, "Oh no, boo, this one doesn't work."
You know, like that's the number 3 scalpel, and that's the number 5.
I need a 62554 stethoscope. This is not going to do anything for me. Yes, no plane.
On a plane. I feel that every pilot and crew member, everybody a part of the flight crew, lies. From the time that the turbulence is going and my seatbelt is the only thing that's keeping me from hitting my head on the ceiling. And the pilot's just like, going through a little bit of rough air. It'll stop in 10 minutes. And then 20 minutes later, and the flight, you all are just like looking at each other, just on your phone. Like, why are you lying? You know we're about to die.
We are not about. It's the same. It's just like you when you've got stuff squirting out of people's bodies. You're just like, yeah, okay, take a little gauze. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but the person doesn't see it. I am looking at you.
No, pause. I've had 3 C-sections. We are fully awake for those joints. And every doctor has the exact same voice. We're doing good there, mommy. Okay. There was a flight I was on and this was my favorite flight. I was great. Everybody else was like making noises because as far as I'm concerned, if the airplane feels like a car, I'm good. Like,
no,
I don't want to feel like I'm not moving. I hate that. I hate no turbulence. Like, give me just a little bit of a bumpy to bump up.
Make sure the engines are still turning. Yes.
I need a little bumpity bump up, right? So there was a little bit more bumpity bump than people wanted. Okay, so we were getting those things where you get a crowd of people together and they all go ah! At the same time. You're like, y'all planned that. But it was like a mad crazy turbulence, and I was sitting in the back, and the flight attendant comes down and she sits next to us, and she's just like, "Hi, how are you? I'm just gonna sit right here, right quick." And that was the moment I was just like, "Oh, this may be a little worse than you're not supposed to be sitting back here with us."
Yeah,
she sat next to us, and she buckled her seatbelt and then refused to make eye contact. And that's when I was just like, oh, we might be in a little bit of trouble. In those situations, can the captain talk to y'all first, or are y'all all getting the information with everybody else? Oh, okay, because that would stink.
Yeah, because you'll hear the ding dong, and sometimes and that's us communicating with each other. Sometimes it's just a signal, and sometimes it's pick up the interphone and
You're gonna die is what it is.
Have you seen the Key and Peele? They do this one on flight attendants where the guy's like, I just got to go to the bathroom. And
that is my dream. That is my dream. I want that to happen to me so bad.
Wait, the turbulence?
No, to be able to look at that. Be able to look at that.
Yes. Oh, yes.
That's my dream. That is my dream. Not that I want anyone to get hurt. But sometimes when we say y'all need to sit down and we sit down, y'all need to sit down.
I'm gonna start.
Sit down, she said. So you're flying actually during this whole COVID crisis thing.
Yes.
What has changed aside from masks? Like what has changed?
I've noticed that people don't come and hang out in the galley anymore. I got tired of having a yoga session in my galley when I'm trying to eat. I don't want to see your downward. I don't want to see your downward dog. Yeah.
Wait, so people did that?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, maybe it's us and we just have too much home training. Because I don't even understand what you said. That people, I thought you were making like a reference, but people are doing actual yoga stretches in the galley while you're eating next to the restroom. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Don't do that, you guys. Like seriously, they have enough to deal with.
Yeah,
you know, that's ridiculous. Stay in your seat.
And to be honest, I can't lie. On those real long flights, I have gone to the restroom, and then when I went to the restroom, I would go to the back, and then I would stand and just be like, "Hey, I just want to stand here for a second."
No, why are you?
How's everything going with you?
Can you imagine, Gina, if you were in the middle of an operation and you looked above your actual mask, and somebody's just like, "Hey, no, I don't know nothing. I was just what y'all doing?" Like, listen, because let me tell you something. Let somebody show up backstage during a play. That's a whole cutout. In fact, because I have a story for everything, I have been in the middle of calling a show. I have my headset on. I am in the back of the theater, and somebody has come up to me trying to ask questions. And I have grabbed people by the arm. I have pushed people by the face away. I apologize later. So the internet doesn't get all, oh, I can't believe you did that. But I'm at work.
You're going to have to edit this out.
No.
This can't be on the internet.
I'm at work. Cause then and y'all don't be allowing people in your jobs, Gina. They got to be all scrubbed and sterile and stuff. Why is it okay for you to hang out in Erica's galley while she eating dinner by the restroom? The 2 times that I have listened to the safety thing, because as far as I'm concerned, after the first one, it's just like it pretty much is the same. Although when I did fly to Europe, I had a low key panic when I opened the window and saw nothing but water and realized that I had missed that part of the trip.
See,
everybody. The water landing thing is important.
You've been on them all.
Wait. So it's a different speech each time?
It depends on the model, right?
Depends on the plane. Yeah. Depends on the plane.
Oh, I might have to start listening.
Yeah, like some planes have more doors than others. Some planes don't have overwing exits. Some do. Some planes have wraps. Some don't.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that I knew.
But what are we going to do with the ones that don't have wraps?
You're not going to Hawaii.
Those don't go over the water. That I knew. Here's my thing. The 2 times that I have listened to safety things, I'm just like, why aren't the flight attendants in like Jordans or Converse All-Stars? Because what they have to do to like get that door open and then pull that string that inflatable thing has to come out and then get everybody out. Like, don't, like, them heels is coming off. Like, if it was just me, that's just me. Like, my shoes is coming off if you want everybody in here's life to be safe.
Right.
If not, I can keep the heels on, but we might, little Miss Martha, little Miss Karen at the back asking for Diet Coke while I'm holding the back eyes. I couldn't get to her. I hope you enjoy your drink, man.
Can you fly without having access to the control people on the ground?
Technically, yeah, you can. Technically, you can. There are some smaller airports that do not have a control tower.
So they're just looking, engaging.
The pilots talk to each other.
Because you know what I have in my head? Hey, yo, I'm clear for landing, dude. You got it, dog. You got it.
Pretty much what it is.
Come on. No. Just left. My bad, dog.
Come on, short approach for 26 left. All right, I'll go around.
You're good, Doc. Let me move up a little bit.
So Erica sounded more believable, though. Because she was using the correct terminology.
Not at my airline. My people are soul plain. We need a seat of substance. No. Seat of substance.
Just don't ask me to hold up your belly while you put on your seatbelt. All I ask.
I can't.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
And we won't. Between scorpions and saline bags, and I can only imagine what that is. So, okay. See the substance.
Sit down.
Because your flight attendant is human too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your
flight attendant is human too, guys. She's human too. He's human too. They're human too. Like, get your life together.
Namaste.
Namaste. We gotta get this water. Look at that. The Dasani water. I'm afraid for Gina to go get her. Oh! Gina has all the water.
She's got all the water.
She's got all the water. Erica, it is always fun to like hang out with you, even virtually. We kind of stayed on topic. I'm not really sure what the topic was, but we stayed on it.
It had something to do with traveling.
And wiping down hotel rooms.
Wiping down hotel rooms.
And being pranked and Diet Coke.
Oh my God. All right, y'all. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Thanks for having me on.
Bye, girl.
Pull that phone up. Pull that phone up. Pull it up. Pull that phone up. Pull that phone up. That's right.